Yo, what up YouTube? Once again, this week we're going to review the new Conjuring film that came out. So I believe there's been fourth movie. I don't remember the third movie very much, but I do remember the first two. And I remember liking it. By the second one, the third one came out and it started seeming very formulaic. It just became a really good jump scare movie. This is the non-spoiler section. This movie focused more on the internal relationships between I forgot the names, but it's the two main actors in the film. It's more unique. The first three films were more, okay, some scary things happening in someone's house now, and they go to investigate. This still has that Conjuring essence to it, but a lot of it is more related to them. So I do like that. It's quite unique. Also, I think it did a pretty good job of keeping me in suspense. It kind of drove me nuts because I don't know if it was because of Mitch, but he pointed out, he whispered to me during the film, there's a character in here that has something to do with what's going on. And then made me think like, oh, it does, doesn't it? It's goddamn. So the whole film, I was wondering, I was waiting for this one character to finally reveal what was going to happen. So I feel like they did a good. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Yeah. Mitch said, "Oh, maybe
misdirection, maybe."
Yeah, maybe." Mitch is like, "Maybe they did it on purpose." I'm like, oh, "Okay, that's true." So I felt I was really interested to see where the movie was leading to. So I mean, that was the main points. So I liked how it was like an internal battle between the characters because we know the characters by now, and we kind of have an invested interest in them, and seeing them how it was really a lot of it was to do with them. It was a good way to kind of, approach the movie, and and it kept me in suspense. Now I'll talk about the worst thing about it. Before that, actually, I'll pass it over to Mitch.
Thank you.
For the presentation.
Yeah, get a little bit involved. It does what the other Conjuring films have done, plus the Annabelle spin-offs and even the Nun. Is like the director. I believe this was still brain has gone on me. I think An I think was his name. I think he did the original.
I'll correct you in a second.
Anyway,
yeah, if it's wrong.
Yeah, good. But no, it still holds the suspense, definitely. There's a lot of sequences where it's like you still feel in the anticipation of a jump scare. And those traits are sprinkled all the way throughout every one of these productions, especially in the current Conjuring universe, you could say, for the least. So in that sense, he's still, after 4 films, even though, as Josh said, it can feel a bit more formulaic at this point, and for even other word, very gimmicky. Like, we kind of know where the story's going, but still, they do still, after 4 films, know how to hold a scene, how to frame a spooky moment, how to properly light, and
how to make the movie theaters gasp. Because there was a lot of the movie, It was a very young crowd, and they seemed to really like it. So, I mean, I
was really surprised about the turnout. We had a real big turnout. We went to an extreme cinema, one of the largest at our regulars, and I think a good third of the audience of the seats were full. So, saying that, it's for a 4th installment of a horror film. Horrors can become of very easy, low budget, straight to DVD kind of vibe. For the audience to be that full for the 4th installment of a supernatural horror series was quite surprising.
Remind me of the freaking Twilight. It was almost like a Twilight situation going on there with all the teens. But anyway, it was directed by Michael Chaves. It was a different director for this one.
Okay.
The last ones was one something. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, there you go. Different director, but still had a very similar style, so he gave respect to the originals. That could also, at the same time, be where I'm a bit critical on it, because a lot of what happens is very again similar to what we've seen in the first one, what we've seen in the second one. You know, a family starts having a haunting of some sort. There's children involved. There's a large family. They give the whole thing of like middle class suburbanites. They can't just leave the house because finances and whatnot. The husband has a strong job, so you keep this family anchored. And of course, it's not the house that's haunted. It's something that's possessing them. It's something that they've accidentally or otherwise maybe even intentionally invited into the house. Um, all that I just said could easily describe what happens in the first film. Um, so if going into this fourth one, if you are expecting to see some form of originality, you might be a little disappointed. Saying that, what we're given in terms of what you're looking for, if you're looking for nice jump scares, creepy premise, it's definitely a good film. Um, it's a weird tether because I want some originality, but given you're dealing in the supernatural kind of horror genre, there's only so many things you can do to make it original and still make the scariness of it shtick, if that makes any sense. So there's a reason why there's a million House on Haunted Hill kind of premises. You know, the Amityville Horror, I think there was about six of them, and somehow they're still known today. So it has its audience, whether they try to be more daring with its originality or not, they still know how to draw in a crowd. And nothing speaks more volumes than a bunch of jump scares. Even if they are very cheap or gimmicky, it still brings in the scares. I myself am very, very easily brought to a jump scare. And half the time of the film, especially the first stuff, I'm just doing this like, here we
Yeah.
go. Or like, I'm looking just off the cinema like it's coming. And yep. Gets me every time pretty much. But what am I trying to say? Overall I still enjoyed it. I wish I hoped for something a little bit more original, but what I got, I still fairly enjoyed. And it's pretty much my stamp with every supernatural horror kind of film. For me, they never really stick the landing. And I'll explain more in the non spoiler area, but just like every other Conjuring film, and even Nun and Annabelle to a lesser extent, to me, the final act of the film ruins for me, considering it like a really good masterpiece of a horror film. All right. Um, to a lesser extent, when the monster is finally unveiled and shown, it always for me kills the movie, and that's going in a lot of other supernatural films, and unfortunately for me, this one is no exception. All that suspense and like concern in the jump scares, the second that they are out of the film does become very flat.
Yeah.
That's the final act of the film, basically.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a good ending. Like 99% of scary movies never stick the landing. What was a good horror film that stuck the landing? I guess Bring Her Back stuck the landing. Even though it was a horror film. It was a very modern horror film. What else? What other movies? Uh, even
Honestly, the only one that comes to my mind is the original Exorcist, which
yeah,
had a good ending. Um,
Hereditary
after
didn't stick the landing, and that was a really popular film. It's to this day one of the best
that,
horror films, and well, it's 50-50. I don't really think it stuck the landing. It was a bit. It went a
I
bit
liked
wacky.
Hereditary.
It went a bit wacky in the end.
It's it's a film that doesn't explain everything to you. You got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Um, it's a film you got to watch a second time.
Right.
This one,
Right.
however, is not really a film you need to watch a second time. There's nothing really clearly hidden for you to kind of unveil. Everything that gets explained in the film gets explained to you in exposition and whatnot. That all said, I don't feel like the villain of this movie was really well fleshed out. The entity or demon, as they name it, I don't think in terms of the other supernatural kind of things that they faced, I don't really feel like this one was that intimidating. Ironically, for a fourth installment, and it's mainly because I didn't really understood its purpose or its intentions or its maliciousness. The other ones, we kind of get an idea of why they are behaving the way they are behaving. It's because of some kind of grounded historical story that comes involved, especially in the first one. But in this one, it is, even though they kind of built up to be this really personal thing for them to face, it's facing their family values and all that stuff. I was kind of adhere to whatever this creature was, because there's a sequence in the film, without giving this play, where it's hiding behind something else. So we never really see its true face, and I guess in a sense, its true intentions. Its intentions are not clear to me. What it's because, yeah, as it shows in the trailer, this thing is actually gunning for the Warrens. It's not so much going for a random person that the Warrens have to help. It's actually central focus is the Warren family. So, of course, from that, it's kind of building up this creature to be their biggest, greatest threat. The greatest adversary yet. But I didn't really feel that. It just didn't come across as this real great Thanos, I guess, of supernatural villains for them.
Because it was the Thanos. It was the final film, so it was kind of the culmination of everything.
The big, the worst thing they've ever faced. I never really felt that, because the presence of the witch in the first one, or the doll of Annabelle, or even the picture of the nun, to me was a much more intimidating factor, because there's a representation of their face. Whereas this thing, I don't really think had any presence. It was always hiding behind something else, or of course possessing something else, and I guess that kind of takes me out of it. I've seen this, and it's kind of ironic to what I'm saying, because 9 times out of 10 for me, what kills the film is when they unveil the creature. I don't necessarily mean for them to unveil. I just wanted a better, clearer understanding of what its purpose was.
Yeah, well, I still don't know. I kind of know, but not really. There's a lot that it was a suspenseful film, and because we didn't really understand what's going on. There's a lot, but then it doesn't really give us any of our answers of what the hell is it?
If I have to compare it, I'm going to compare it to, let's say, Thanos of the Marvel universe. It's built up, but then we reveal Thanos is supposed to be this really intricate villain, and his reasons behind things are kind of justified in his own personal views. Building that up, imagine at the end of the very first Avengers film with Thanos, it's not scratch that. He just wants to kill people. Oh. It takes away any sense of importance or even fear factor, because it just turns Thanos into a generic villain. That's what I felt about the entity in this. It was very generic, because it's never explained what its actual intention is.
Yeah, exactly. There's no depth in it. It's just it's this thing that wants to kill people, or something like that. It's just a generic, scary thing going on.
In the introduction of this film, you kind of get the sense this demon has a bigger purpose, but no, it doesn't. It's just doing what all the other kind of demons have kind of done, which is just take over someone and wreak havoc. So in that sense, it very fell flat by the end of the film. It was just okay, it just turned into another gimmicky villain for them to face and conquer and rise above, as they always do. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. No, that was probably the biggest negative, I would say, of the film. Another one is probably Split. A lot of people like this film for that, but I feel like the film was a reel of scary scenarios. It's we got this scary scenario, then that scary scenario, and it's probably 5 or 6 scary scenarios. Which is okay, I guess. Basically, we're waiting for the next scary scenario, but the thing is, they weren't very creative. They've been done so many times before, so it came across very tired. For example, I know it's not the spoilers, but it always ends up with something. The scary movie music plays, then the characters look and say, "What? Is there something over there?" Then it's oh, there isn't something over there, but actually there is. And then a jump scare comes or something like that. I feel like it's following the same jump scares, and it's not really creative with its jump scares. So that kind of I don't know. you know, like or like a you'll know when you watch it, you'll know there's quite a few scary scenarios where it's like, oh, I've seen this before, you know. So you
Yeah.
just it's not
No, I
very
completely get it.
creative. It's not very creative, and they could have been a bit more creative because it is a very even though it wasn't creative, it was still good jump scares, and they still knew how to fit, make the shot. I just don't think they had the creative nature to make
You're trying to
something.
say it was predictable.
Yeah, predictable. Yeah, or when the whole scenario happened, it's like, oh, I've seen that before. You know,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
special.
I even like the like I said, it does feel very similar vibes to the original. With like, you know, you think it's the children running around playing in a certain room. It's like, kids, get out of the room. Oh wait, it's the kids are in the other room. So what have I been hearing this whole time? Ah,
It's like,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff does happen a lot, especially in the first one. Yeah.
oh, the
So
kids are playing downstairs again, and then she looks to the left, and the kids are
nope.
actually running up the stairs in a different room. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that before. That would have been like, that would have like 15 years ago. That would have been like, oh yeah, oh, that's scary, that's scary. But now it's just like, oh, here we go again, like another one of
Mhm.
those. And then it's like slowly moving towards the door, slowly. Then like you open the light, and there's nothing there. It's like, oh, okay. It's like kind of very predictable. It's like one of two things:
It's behind me.
either there's nothing there, or it's going to be a scary face that shocks you, and it's like, oh, it was nothing. Okay, so it's like we knew what the potential outcomes were going to be, and it's always one of those outcomes. It's never really goes creative, I guess. Anyway, yeah. So overall, I agree. I thought it was a pretty good film. They could have made it better, of course. They couldn't. They didn't really stick the landing. I agree. And they didn't really flesh out the story very well, like with the demonic presence or whatever they were trying to go for with the villain. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Like I mentioned, like I did like the internal relationship between the characters, and they did a good job keeping you in suspense. It was shot very well. The cinematography was really good. The prosthetics and all that was really good. Even though it's like you got a lot of images of like scary faces, like you would in the last movies, it was done well. So I think for like a good popcorn film, it's good. It's a good watch. But if you're looking for something like a deep Hereditary type film or something, you're not going to get that. You're probably going to dislike it. If you like the other Conjuring movies, you're probably going to like this one. Yeah. Anyway, that's my 3 cents on it. So that's the not the non-spoiler section. Now, click on the next video for the spoilers. Spoiler section. All right, and we'll see you.